We're getting ready to film.
Though we don't have a book, a specific book, parties, so let's just get dressed. Yay!
In my opinion, being married 15 years.
I'm not always in the mood for like things that have my son,
Hi, welcome to today's vlog, guys. We're getting ready to film a challenge. I don't know if you guys have seen it, the cookie challenge. I want to see if Ace is gonna pass it or fail it. But yeah, quick update. What has been going on? Nothing really, apart from the fact that it's flu and allergy season. So guys, I feel so kind of congested on my head, like my nose. I can't remember the last time I was like sick for a week, but this time around I've been sick since last week with the flu. It's been a very severe like flu going around. I know that, you know, spring comes with a lot of flu and allergies, but this year's own, I don't know, I would say that this year has been, every season for this year has been like brutal. Winter was brutal, and now in spring, flu and allergy. It's been an eventful spring so far. Upon spring just started like 2 weeks ago, I think. But yeah, I want to go. Let's just go do let's go do the cookie challenge with Ace. Let's see if he will pass it or fail it.
Man, you take my chain. You wear this chain, see? I'll make it even more cuter. Cutie pops.
Oh, that was cute. Okay, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and everybody open it.
Is that how the people normally do?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's opening it?
Yes. Essie, we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna open your cookie. Okay?
Look. Say 1, 2, 3, and then open. Okay? All right, ready?
Wait.
Hold it like this.
Hold your cookie.
Okay,
Okay, let's go.
One. No, you have to look at the camera. Say easy.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
AC. Look. You have, AC, does Daddy have cookie? Oh my gosh, AC, you have cookie? Look. I don't have no cookie. Mommy don't have
Mommy have no cookie.
You sure? Mommy can have this one. That was easy, AC. Cheers. Yay. Yeah. That was so easy, guys. I didn't know you. AC.
Can we see it?
Yeah. Spring is here, and you know what that means, dress season. So let's get dressed. Oh my gosh, guys, look at the fitting. Oh my gosh, I love the fitting of this dress and the fact that it's very, very free. You guys, I mean, during summer and spring, we want to be free. I'm nobody interested in wearing like bodycon and fitted dresses. With this, whether you have fupa, whether you have big stomach or not, it's definitely going to conceal that, as you guys can see. Absolutely love the fitting on me, and everything I have here is a size large. And yeah, I love the fact that this is not like, it's not too short, it's not too long, it's right on the knee area, which I absolutely love. So let me just go ahead and put on my shoes. I love the fact that it has a lot of florals going on it, and you guys know you can never go wrong with florals when it comes to spring and summer. And as you guys can see, I decided to pair it with a very neutral pumps, like, or heels, Because of the fact that the dress has a lot going on it, I decided to pair it with a very simple neutral slippers. As you guys can see, it's more on the translucent side, and then I paired it with this orange bag, which I absolutely love. It's a very like simple looking dress, but of course you can wear this to anywhere you want. I'm not always in the mood for like fitted bodycon dresses, so the fact that this is loose, look at this guys, I absolutely am in love. So if you want to wear this one without the belt, you can, but I wanted to give it a little bit of shape. I decided to pair it with a white purse and also my white sandals. And I love the fitting of the dress, and also the fact that it comes with, look, a pocket. I'm a sucker when it comes to, you know, dresses with pockets. I just love having pockets in my dresses. Let me know if I'm the only one. This dress is a banger. I love this dress, guys. I love the fact that it's open at the back. I mean, look at this. If you like want to draw it all the way down, and then in the front it's kind of turtleneck, so I love it. And I decided to just pair it with a very nice wedge white sandals. You can never go wrong with white and pink, and of course with my purse. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And also it comes with a pocket. You guys already know, you already know me and pockets, guys. This one comes with a pocket. So let's give it up to the last and final look. We have this orange dress right here. I feel like I should have worn this with a stiletto pumps. For some reason, I don't know, I just feel like a stiletto pumps would have been like perfect for this. What do you guys think? But I thought to pair it with a gold slippers, and of course my rattan bag. When it comes to spring and summer, you can't go wrong with a rattan bag. So this is look number 4. Absolutely love this dress. I love like the puffy hand and the fabric. It just has this very nice heavy, like quality heavy fabric to it, which I absolutely love. It also comes with a pocket. I think everything, all the dresses I have here all comes with a pocket except the first one. This one also comes with a pocket, size large, but for some reason, I don't know, I feel like maybe it's the way the dress is supposed to look. I was like, should I have gotten like a medium? What do you guys think? Do you think the large is, I feel like, especially if you're busted, like if you're heavy busted, guys, like sometimes when you get a smaller size, it becomes tight on the you know, boob area. So I was like, I love the fitting of, you know, the top part of the dress, but then the down, I was like, maybe I should have gotten a size medium, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. But I love this dress. It has this flower design, like it's kind of an opening flower design on it, which I absolutely love. This is, you know, towards the bottom, but yeah, I love it. Like I said, this right here is good. Like I just see myself wearing this to church. Like it's a perfect church dress. I love it. And that's a wrap. Definitely hit the link to shop. Who told you I wanted to share my blanket? Siki. I'm sorry.
Punching me in the face and everything.
I didn't punch you in the face. That wasn't intentional.
Certified abuse.
Hi you guys. Hi. Welcome to today's vlog. Of course, it's already a vlog going on, I guess, but this is like a segment inside the vlog, and it's all about, sweetie, it's 15 years after. I mean, 15 years, guys. It's so funny just hearing it, like 15 years. It's like, I don't know, it's surreal, you know. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. You know how, I don't know, some people, right, before I got married, people would always say, oh, you're married and you know you're married. But in this relationship here, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know we are married, but it doesn't. It's just so natural. Like, it just flows. I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. Was it the other day I was telling you? I said, sweetie, now I'm beginning to understand how people say that, like, when you get married for such a long time, it's like you're living with a brother or a sister. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just goes so, and that's how you see people. Like, they've been married for 30 years, 50 years, and then you're looking at them in their head, they just got married yesterday. That's how it feels. I can't believe it's been 15 years. Yeah. Honestly. And you know, I was thinking about it. I said, 15 years. It's not just about the years, guys, but it's the quality of the years, you know. It's the quality of the years. And I feel like there is a lot we can drop from our book, even though we don't have a book, a specific book, but there are just few things that, you know, we kind of probably do, how do they say it, consciously or unconsciously, that has really led us to this, to the point we are now in our marriage 15 years later. And I feel like, you know, if you're single, you're planning to get married, you might be able to take one or two things from this video here. So, sweetie, you want to say anything?
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is that, you know, when I look at, like, not only our journey of 15 years, but also just, you know, because it was 15 years since we started, but 12 of those years we were on the platforms. Yeah. We started, you know, we launched Omabelletv, and we got introduced 3 years after we got married. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, just kind of reflecting and looking at it overall, like I used to tell her, there are many of us, you watching, and people who are new, that in some cases, the older ones, of course, know this, but you've grown with us. Mm-hmm. So I met my wife when she was 22, and it's been a journey. For the past 12 years, we've been here on the platforms, and we've been out there building Omabelletv. And so you've seen the journey. You've seen the twins from the time they were small, they were babies. You've seen
from when I was pregnant with them.
Yes, you've seen Ace, you know how we, you know, when Ace came along. Yeah. You've seen highs, lows. You've seen, you know, me. Of course, I'm sure many of you may or may not know, but you've seen me in the worst tragedy of my life. Right. And so, you know, it's been God's grace through all of it. And also us, of course, our story. If you really knew our story and what she's talking about, things that are for the internet. Right. But for us, it's actually genuine. We really have a genuine friendship. We have a genuine relationship. It's effortless, it's seamless, it's not a struggle. No. And of course, we navigate, we have a lot of things that we have going on with not only family, business, aspirations, dreams, but the fact is that the bond is there, and it really is, it's like timeless. It's a timeless bond. And I'm saying all that to say that many of us, some of the things that we put emphasis on, you know, whether it's people you like, people you don't like, people who are, let's say, that you take to, people that you see online that, you know, maybe you like them, maybe you don't, or maybe you have, you know, a list of what you want in a mate, etc. All I want to say is that all of us are going and heading in the direction where we're losing time. Right. So at some point, all of us are going to be 85 years old. It's true. All of us are going to be 85, 90 years old. Grandpas. And to be honest with you, what the latest bag is, who's doing this, who's wearing this, who you like, who you don't, it really won't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's not going to matter. Because that's really, I look at people who are older, I deal in, you know, deal with people in different walks of life. Right. And I was telling my wife, I flew to Miami last week. 2 months. No, I was in Miami last week, but I went last month. I was in Miami, and on the plane coming back, I saw a couple, and the guy, he needed to go to the bathroom, but the lady was on the end seat. His wife was on the end seat, so you could see her get up so that he can go to the bathroom, but she helped, you know, she held his side. And then they were older, much older. And she stood there, you know, on that end seat. She stood up in her seat, watching him go to the bathroom, making sure he was okay. And she waited standing up until he came back, and then made sure he was okay. And then So I just looked at them and I was like, man, I wonder how long these people have been married.
I know.
And just life, just life kind of going.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Very
At one point,
true.
you don't have that, and then you turn around, you have children, you have grandchildren, you have great grandchildren, and then life goes.
Yeah.
So I guess what I want to say before we talk about all these things, let's put things in perspective. Not that you don't have aspirations, and you don't have things that you want, the preferences, but some of the things that we put so much emphasis on, it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, man, when you're 85 years old, it's not gonna matter.
It don't matter, honestly.
That's it.
This thing you just said is, I don't know, it just touched me, because just like they say, there is no perfect marriage. I always tell people, there is no perfect marriage, guys. Like, you see us here, we're friends, like best friends for life. But that doesn't mean we don't fight. Like, we fight, but it's just that we have limits, There are limits to a fight. Number one, we don't call each other off of our names. There are some people that are used to that. When you fight with your partner, you call them names. That is a limit. That is like a no-go area for us, right? We don't call each other out of our names. And there's no perfect marriage. Yes, people fight, people go through things in life, but there are just few things that I feel like it's very, very important. Like, as you're getting married, we are all used to the wedding. When people are getting married, they're just thinking about the wedding. But after the wedding, that is when the real marriage starts, right? And for me personally, I always believe that love gets you to the person.
Sure.
Love is, of course, the very first. Before you say, yes, I want to marry somebody, you must love the person, right? But marriage goes beyond love. I always say this, marriage goes beyond love, guys. Love is going to bring you guys together. But then, what is the main thing when it comes to marriage is commitment. You have to be committed. I always tell people that as long as there's no physical and mental abuse, like, this is for life. Like, it's for life, guys. So when you're getting into marriage, you always have to know that it's for life. And I feel like the current generation we are in right now, they don't understand that when you're getting married, it's for life. Like I said, excluding these two things, even the Bible also condemned it, right? Excluding physical and mental abuse, when you're settling down with somebody, don't have it at the back of your mind, like, oh, let me go and try if it works, if it doesn't, because that means, like, right from the get-go, you are like in between. You're not fully in, you're not fully out. You just want to try and see. Marriage shouldn't be something like that. Like, commitment is very, very important when it comes to, a long-lasting marriage.
Absolutely. The scripture that comes to mind is 1 Peter 3. And many of us may or may not know that scripture, but that scripture talks about the relationship between wives and husbands. And many times, people talk about wives honoring their husbands, and then, of course, vice versa. The husband should see the wife as the weaker vessel, etc. But I'm going to tell you, from the time that we started this, and the way our outlook on this has always been a partnership. We came before God as one unit. And God blessed us and blessed, not only our union, but blessed our connection and our friendship and our bond. But one of the things that stands out to me regarding 1 Peter 3 is that there's a word, if you look at the scripture and you see where it talks about the wives, their duty, and also the husband, both are assigned one word. And that one word is honor. And so that's what she's talking about. When you have honor in a relationship, when you have honor between people, there's a certain level of, commitment. There's a certain level of strength that brings, that other things, as the wind of times come and things happen, that honor is really going to go a long way, because you're not just honoring them in the terms of, okay, well, I honor you, I respect you. You're honoring them in the place where you're finding out what their dreams are, what their aspirations are. You're honoring them in that you want to see them fulfill their God-given purpose. You want to see them be their best. So that's where that honor comes in. You really want them to honor God in their life, but also you just want to see them fulfill and have a joyful and happy life. And so it's very important to, not only understand and have commitment as your core, but there are 4 key parts when it comes to marriage. And that's what really got us to this point The first one is commitment, like what she talked about.
Yeah.
The second one is selflessness.
Yes.
The third one is the law of recognition.
Yeah.
And the fourth one is seed.
Yeah.
So when you understand those four things, we can probably touch on each of them.
Yeah.
That's really the foundation. That's really, in my opinion, being married for 15 years, I think that that's really the foundation of what we have established.
From my own perspective, guys, I always feel there's just something about our relationship that I'm so thankful about, sweetie. Communication. I don't know. People always, like, a lot of people do not know how much, like, I don't know how important communication is to a relationship. And I feel like, you know, when you're open to your partner, when you don't feel like you have to hold back your feelings, right? You show your partner your all. Like, this man right here, I feel like he knows 100% of me, like everything about me. And I'm this kind of person that I don't know how to hide my feelings. Like, once he would just look at me, babe, what's the problem? I mean, till like the smallest thing, I might just walk out of that door and probably just a little thing happens. Once I come in, he already knows that there's a switch in my feet, like in I don't know how to explain it. He already knows like that something happened. Even though I didn't say something happened when I went out there, once I walk in, he knows something is wrong, right? So it's kind of like the just the blessing of being so free, so open, you know, being able to tell you anything and not feel judged. Like, my feelings is always on the table, you know, for him. And I feel like this is very, very important because you know, sometimes in marriage, you might find out that some people start like, maybe when you come and tell your partner how you feel, they really do not take you seriously, or they will not act towards what you're telling them. And over the years, you're going to start feeling resentment. You're going to start feeling grudge. You know, you just like everything, because you've bottled a lot of things in. You haven't been able to kind of speak out. It affects a lot, you know, when it comes to a relationship.
We were watching this. She likes this show. It's on Netflix. I think it's Love Is Blind.
Love Is Blind. So yeah.
We were watching one episode, and a lot of times and I watched this with her, and so she's laughing because she knows what I'm going to say. So a lot of times when we watch this show, right? And she's a romantic, you know, so she's like a romantic.
I'm a baby. It's crazy how people do not know that I'm such a, like,
she's a delicate flower. So she loves love. I'm going to tell you honestly, if you don't know the girl. So anyway, we watch this show. That's one of her fun things.
I always tell him, I always tell him, if not because he's the type of man that he'd be like, babe, with just 3 kids, I would have given him 20 kids, because I love love. Like, that's just me.
Yeah.
Delicate flower. That's just it.
So we watched the show, and when we're watching the show, I always, how do I say this? I always know, I can read the setup of the couples. So she's laughing. So I can know, I always tell, and I'm normally spot on. Am I right? I'm normally spot on. So
everything.
If I'll read it from the beginning, I'll tell her, no, I think this one is playing this one.
Yeah.
Or this is what's going to happen. So we were watching, this was like last week, she's laughing. This was last week, we were watching this one. And then this one guy, right, I guess he had proposed to this lady. And so, like what you just talked about, when the feelings of resentment and whatever.
Yeah.
So the guy was really, like, he was a player. And so what he was doing was, the lady was on the couch, just like where I was sitting. She was telling him about how she felt, how she was looking forward to their marriage, and basically she was talking about things that she was trying to go deep, and all he was thinking about was surface things, like the bedroom, and everything. So every time she would say something, he would make a joke, and he was like, "Well, you're gonna do," and so I turned to her and I said to her, I said, "You know, this guy, you know, he's not gonna marry her. He's just playing her." And so I think it was like a little further down the episode, she found out that, like, right while they were preparing to get married in 2 weeks, he was already cheating with multiple people. And they ended up not getting married, and he left the show. But I say that to say that it really, when we talk about honor, like I talked about in First Peter 3, that's where it goes, because you can be married for 20 years, 30 years, and be in a nightmare. Right. Because you have someone, you're just staying in that. And when you have someone that really doesn't care like about your feelings. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that it can go both ways, whether it's the husband or the wife. We really need to listen, because people will tell you, even those who may not know how to communicate, you gotta leave the door open, and so that because they're telling you about their pain, they're telling you about issues, they're telling you about warnings, or they're telling you about things that may have shifted, maybe they've changed, and then and it's something for you to decipher if you are invested and you're into it, and into the person, into a relationship. You see that as your soulmate, then you're going to basically really help them either come, because sometimes this is not just about what I always say, and that's why I use selflessness as that's my second key. That's where selflessness comes in. You have to be selfless when you're married, because sometimes a person is going through things like what she talked about, but my mind is always on whatever I have going on. Then I'm not considering, okay, she might be going through something right now, whether it's a business deal that went south, whether it's something that she's thinking about her parents, her mom, or it could be something that she's dealing with where she's trying to figure out her next move for business, or she's aspiring to do something. I'm all in to help her figure it all out. And that's really important, because as you guys know, this is not an easy situation in life, especially nowadays, navigating so many different things with all the changes happening economically, with the way the world is, ethically, really, just all around. It's messed up.
So we can just say, if you simply put the other person in your shoes, just put as if
compassion.
Have compassion. I feel like that's the right word, compassion. You always have to put yourself in the other person's shoes, because that's the thing about, just like you were saying, selflessness, right? Because you find a lot of marriages, especially marriages of these days, of this generation, is always people are so selfish, so selfish. It's all about you. It's not like a two. The Bible said that two become one. So it's supposed to be you. As you're thinking for yourself, you're thinking for your partner, because both of you are one. And that's the thing with our relationship. It's so funny, because it goes down to the littlest things, right? Like this afternoon, he wasn't feeling well. I was getting ready. I had a lot of videos to film, right? But I had to stop what I was doing, came down, made his tea, made sure he was okay before I went back to filming. Just little things like that, right? Because I knew that if I was the one that wasn't feeling well, he would do the same. And I sometimes too, I feel like it also depends on the couple too, because unfortunately, sometimes you might have a good wife and a bad husband.
That's what I mean.
Or a bad husband and a good wife, but it's always the best when the two of you are in the same page, you're in the same direction.
Well, if you have two people that are selfless, it helps. It helps. You have one person that's selfless and the other, what's going to happen is through time, the one may become resentful,
animosity,
and that's
grudge.
what causes a rift. Because then at the point that the other one comes to their senses and tries to fix it, sometimes it's too late.
It's too late.
So that's why, in I use the word, if you notice, when I gave my 4 points, I used the last one was seed.
Yeah.
And like I was telling my wife, even though I feel like many of us, especially those who have been married or get married, we take for granted people.
Once you get married,
once you get them, I got them. You gotta always realize you gotta be investing into that person. You have to pour into and be investing in that person every single day. That's somebody that God's given you to be able to water, to be able to fertilize, to nurture and grow and groom. In my case, helping to groom her. And like what she talked about, from the small things of her making me tea and all of that, to also to big things. For example, you have some men that are intimidated by powerful women that are successful women. And in this case with her, we push her. Yeah. So for me, it's like
together.
We push her. And then this is I want to say so that sometimes people think that there's got to be something for them. And this is what she was talking about. Even married couples, the two become one. But a lot of people don't see that because they look at it as, okay, well, like she was saying, what if it doesn't work out? They have that 1 foot out the door already with an exit strategy. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to spend time investing in building this person up. So that if this person grows and they grow and they become successful, then they don't need me, or they what happens if they leave? And so what happens is you have to trust God. Your confidence has to be in God, and you have to really just surrender to Him and be selfless to know that he's gonna get you, and regardless of whatever the situation
That's
is.
very true, sweetie. But also, you should be able to discern the partner. That's why choosing your partner is very important. I feel like that's where a lot of people get it wrong. You have to be able to discern, make sure that, because they always say husband should lead, right? But you want to make sure that whoever is your husband is a leader, like he's somebody that leads right, because somebody can lead you into pothole, somebody can lead you into the worst nightmare of your life, right? But in a situation whereby you are in a relationship and you feel like the person or your spouse or your other partner, right, is not the type of person that you're seeing the future with, even though you guys are married, but you can see that that person is not the person you're seeing a future with. Like, how do you even do
that's
something
the thing.
like
This
that?
is why I always say, like, the core to all of these things is what we talked about at the beginning. You have to go to God first, and you have to ask God for discernment.
Yeah.
But I want to say this: discerning goes a long way, because you can discern. You have to. Sometimes you have. This is what we've realized.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you need to really work. You really need to realize that all the time, as much as you're pointing the finger at someone else, you need to point the finger at yourself. You have more fingers pointing at you. There's a development of you that has to happen. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. So in the case where we talked about discerning, a husband leading, sometimes, as we're seeing nowadays, most women want someone that's already established.
Yeah.
So the problem is that they may miss their soulmate.
That's true.
Because that person is not on this pinnacle yet. When we got married, I said to my wife, I said to her, listen, I'm not altogether where we need to be now, but this is what I said. We're going to grow there together, and I'm bringing you into a stable situation, which it was the truth.
Yeah.
So I brought her into a stable situation.
Yeah.
She's here 15 years later, and she's my witness.
Right.
We then grew together.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that if she had said at that time, oh no, I want somebody that's, and like I said, it wasn't established.
Yeah.
I just brought her into a stable situation. So it wasn't that there wasn't, but it wasn't established in the fact, like in the case of where people were talking about Gucci bags. And this is what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that this is where discernment comes in.
Yeah.
That discernment comes into where ultimately, putting aside everything, you really want peace.
Yeah. Peace.
And you really need to discern so you can have peace. Because there's people that move into mansions and they're miserable. And they don't stay married, right? We've seen it all the time. They'll spend a lot of money on weddings, and then 2 years later or a year later, they're not married. And so my point is that discernment comes from God, but also you have to judge your filter too. Because you might be saying, yeah, you know what, I need to make sure that this person is someone that can lead. But lead means that you need someone that will lead you to peace. Peace meaning like shalom in the Bible, nothing missing, nothing broken. Not only financially, but also in your mind, emotionally, mentally, all around. So it's not just only financially, but unfortunately people always use only financial.
I mean, financially is important.
It's very important.
That is not even with, as long as, for me personally, right, before I got married, I was like, as long as I can have my 3 square meal, I'm happy. I'm actually not, I always tell people, I'm actually not, how do I put it? I'm, like my husband said, I love love, right? And I'm the type of person that if I love you, I don't mind if we're eating gari or if we're eating the most, the most inexpensive thing, as long as you're happy, you have peace. That's the main, and that was how we started. We didn't have it all, when we started, but like he said, he told me, he said, sweetie, this is what we have, this is what this is me, right?
I told her the truth.
Yeah, he told me exactly the truth. A stable situation, he said, this is me, this is where we are starting from, then we can build together. And let me tell you, there's nothing as fulfilling as just watching you and your partner, you start from square one and you grow, you build together. Like, there's nothing as fulfilling as that. Unlike, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that when, I was younger, like he said, I got married to him at 22, right? I had suitors.
Sure.
Guys, I mean, I had eligible suitors, guys, right? But like he always he always be like, babe, what actually made you choose me? Because the funny thing is, like, when it comes to like suitor, I wasn't lacking in that aspect. Like, I had a lot of people that were interested in me, right? But I chose him because why? Because I found peace with him. And like I always tell you that, even till today, I tell him, I say, sweetie, I don't know if I had married another person if they would be able to tolerate me. It's not that I'm a handful, but I'm just, like he said, like, I just love the attention you give me. Like, he gives me all the attention I need, guys. Like I said, if I walk out that door and come back and something changes with me, he already knows. Like, somebody that knows you in and out. So, and somebody that is also open to know you, because not everybody that you get married to that want to know you that way, you know. So it's just, I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the thing, you know, you pray for God to, we always say this in the beginning, we talked about compatibility, and that's something that God has to give you discernment. I always am a big proponent of having friendships. I have a lot of female friends, and I always advise them, like, listen, we're talking about guys that they're dating or that they're interested in or what's happening. And I'm like, listen, you need to establish a friendship, because through friendship, you'll be able to see. Sometimes you go straight to a relationship and then you find out that there were things that, you know, you probably overlooked or whatever, or there were things that because you're in your mind, you feel like your time is running out, you move too fast. But having good friendships really help. And
it helps because you can talk about anything, you know, because you know you're talking to your friend. You're not just talking to your husband, but you're talking to your friend. And just like he mentioned, right, like his friends that he's talking about, for me personally, I always tell women that it's okay to have your spec. It's okay to have like what you're looking for in a man, but don't make it where it's shallow. Like, you're looking for shallow things. You're looking for physical things, because beauty is gonna fade. That 6 foot tall man, where by the time he starts getting older, you know that a man's height also comes down as they're getting older. Somebody that is 6 foot tall, by the time they're getting older, they might find themselves in 5'9", 5'8", right? Everything just comes down. But I don't know, I find it so appalling when I see women have all these standards, and you see that the standard is like shallow standard, and you see them, they are growing like year by year, they are getting older, and they are still sticking to the standard. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you having your standard, but you also got to be practical too. And I feel like sometimes women miss their soulmates. They miss that perfect partner that God already destined for them, because they have all these lists that, you know, the guy gotta meet. He has to be 6 foot tall, he has to be dark, handsome, rich. And meanwhile, you're looking at yourself. Are you rich? Are you tall? Are you, like, I mean, as you're listing those things, also ask yourself, all these lists I'm making, do I also qualify with the list? Because I feel like there's just too many lists that we, especially as ladies put out there, that it's not practical. It's not a practical, you know, a bullet points that you're looking for in a man. And another thing I also want to say is, you gotta be, like my husband said, you gotta be discerning, and also you want to make sure that you're marrying somebody that is God-fearing. I can't stress this enough. A God-fearing person wouldn't. There are some things that, if they want to do to you, they're going to like reflect back to their Bible, or like they have accountability to God, more like something like that. They are accountable to God. So you know that they're not going to treat you anyhow, right? Or like somebody who is not like spiritually there. It's always very, very important to marry somebody that have a heart after God.
It's very true. And you know, what you said is very important. And I always look at it like this. I always say, like I said, I have sisters. Of course, I have my wife. She's still my best friend. I have sisters, and I also have a lot of female friends, and they come to me for advice. And for me personally, the way I see it is, I feel like women are very, very special. And I think that I look at, especially some of you guys that watch, I look at you guys as sisters, right? I feel like God wants the best for you, more than what you want for yourself. You know, the Bible talks about the hairs of our hair are numbered. And so God knows you more than you know yourself. And He wants the best for you. I don't think that there's anything wrong with having a list, but it's similar to what I talked about with discernment. You have to ask yourself about the filter, your own filter. How are you seeing things, and why are you seeing things the way you see it? It's no different than, like, there's a lot of people who I know that they're doing all these surgeries and things like that. And you say, you know, why are you doing these surgeries? No, I'm doing it for myself. At the end of the day, like, that's a different topic, but are you really doing the surgeries and the boob, you know, like whatever jobs you're getting done, are you really doing it for yourself? Or have you really dug deep to find out if it's social influence that's forcing you to think that that's the way that you should be? So now you see people who did it early years ago, now they're doing the reversing and they're taking the things out of their bodies. what I'm trying to say in essence is that you having a list of all these things that you want, nothing wrong with that. The only thing is that you have to have a balance, and you need to go to God with it. Bible says that a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is a delight in his sight. That's in Proverbs. So always have a balance to whatever you're doing. Don't have a list of 10 things. I never forget, I told this to one of my female friends, that was like years ago. And I said to her, don't have a list of 10. And because not all 10 are checked off, you miss your husband because of one. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Just like how we talked about earlier with us, all of us going towards getting, we're losing time. We don't really have time. And so you want to make sure that you make a decision that's going to cause you to be at peace in your life, because this is the biggest decision that you will make, who you connect with. The person that you connect with will actually make or break, and it can set your destiny up, it can change your destiny, because you have your life that you're building with them, you're probably going to have children with them, etc. So it's a decision that you need to really go to God with full-heartedly, have peace about. But like she said, you need someone who's going to be God-fearing, who's going to have a heart after God and also have a heart after you. I feel like a man should love a woman a little bit more than what the woman loves.
He always says it, and
I feel like you need to invest, because, for example, if you imagine you have someone who's investing and plowing into you every single day, like after everything that concerns you, your business, like in her case, she has a successful business. That business is her business. So I don't need to have any type of hold or anything like that, because when I told her this when we first got connected, that I want to see her reach her God-given potential. So helping her with the setting up her business, helping her scale her business. When she has valleys in her business, helping her get out of those valleys. When she has peaks, helping her to make the right investments so that her business and her revenues churn. Making sure her credit is good so that she's moving from a position where she's dealing with personal credit to now building business credit, where the business credit can buy her buildings, cars, different things. Setting her up, making sure that, you know what I'm saying? Even to the point where she talked about when it comes to, and this is how deep it goes, when it talks to having more children, my concern is I want to look out for her.
About me.
Listen, you have things happen with women that go for childbirth. Yeah. I'm good. I need my wife. So my point is that God's blessed us with 3. So what I'm saying that overall, just saying that you want to have the confidence to be able to be selfless, invest in the person, and also enjoy the journey. Yeah. We've laughed about this times. In our journey, we've had times where we have photo shoots on the street. Yeah. People think that I'm the photographer. Yeah. So guys will be driving by and they'll be like, I can't even whistle. I got a flip. I'm dealing with they'll be whistling like, hey baby. And then I'm there filming.
Want to come close, to come and ask me for my number. And the crazy
we laugh about it.
Yeah, he's so comfortable. We just laugh about it. Then when they come, I be like, oh, sorry, that's my husband. Oh, your husband.
They're respectful.
It's like that, yeah.
My point is, I'm just saying that, again, like I said, we're all going to be 85 one day. Not that we shouldn't have, aspiring aspirations, but the reality of the situation is that
time is going.
Time is going, and then also, too, you need to go to God first.
Yeah.
Have Him give you peace and His blessing on what you're doing. And really get to know Him for yourself, so that you know, because if you really don't know Him, how are you going to know who's talking to you, right? How are you going to have peace? That's one of the ways that so that when you make this decision, don't make it lightly. You don't make it like a contract thing, because she talked earlier about covenant. Covenant is something that's not easily broken. Yeah. But unfortunately, in the modern day, we don't really understand the value of covenant. So
that's true. They can care less about that. When you get married, you're standing in the church, you're standing on the altar. It's between you, your husband, and God. Tell me what oath or what covenant is more than that.
Exactly.
It's something that we all have to take really, really seriously. It's not something that you get in and you're like, oh, let me just go and try. If it doesn't work, I know it's good. I love the fact that there is an opportunity for you to go. If it doesn't work, you come out. It's not a do or die affair, basically. Marriage is not a do or die affair, right? But in a situation whereby you see that you are blessed with a good partner, work it out. There is nothing like a perfect marriage. Yeah. It takes work. Even us, 15 years after, I was telling him, I said, I can't believe in the next 5 years we'll be having our gold golden jubilee, right? That's what it's called, 20 years in marriage, right? But the fact is, it's work. We work on it every single day. It's, you know, something we work on. It can be as simple as just house chores. Having a partner that sees that you're busy and there's dishes in the sink, that's one thing. I don't even know how to explain it, guys. This man right here, there's no chore he can do. I know people always see me film cleaning and all, but that's not my life every single day, right? Sometimes I might be busy. He might come, see dishes in the sink, he wash it out. Like, there is not, when we were having babies, you know, of course our kids are grown now, basically, technically. Yes, it's like 4, or getting to 5, but when we had babies, hubby was changing diapers. You know, there are some men that will tell you they can't change diaper. I'm like, how? So the woman will carry the poo-poo all the days of her life. Like, you can't change diaper, you can't do basic house chores. You know, and the crazy thing is, just like men have love language, women, we have our love language too. And it's as simple as it sounds, we love things like that. That is our love language, where you know that your partner is always there. They can always kick in and do whatever it is that, you know, it's not technically for a man to do, like cooking. Of course, that's where this so when it comes to cooking, forget about that one with my husband.
I'm learning.
But every other thing, cleaning, doing the dishes, doing laundry, all those things, like, there shouldn't be a man's job and a woman's job in marriage. It's like everything, we bounce off of each other. Like, you know, when he's not there, I'm there. When I'm not there, he's there. You know, it's like, it makes, marriage is not supposed, I always tell people, marriage is not supposed to be hard. But it's just the people that are in the marriage that make it hard. Yeah. You know, and like I keep saying, and I will always say that there is no perfect marriage. I mean, people fight, people reconcile. But the fact is that when you know that both of you are in the same, like, how do you say, trajectory or whatever, you know, you guys are in the same path, you guys are in the same wavelengths, that is all that matters, guys. And for my ladies out there, like we just said, you know, it's okay for you to have all this list of things you want in a man, but also be practical. You know, you don't want to lose that person that God have already destined for you because you have all these, you know, lists that must have to be met before you settle for someone. You know, you have to love the person, yes. You have to be committed, communication. There is a lot of, you know, there are a lot of points that we dropped in this video, and we hope, you know, that it's helpful. We are able to talk to someone. Do you still have more to say?
I just want to say one thing. You always have to look at it like, when you are connected with someone, look at it as God giving that person to you for you to help to nurture them. And so, you know, there are gifts that God's given everyone. Everyone has various gifts. And so you need to learn to discern the gifts that are in those people, because all of us have strengths and weaknesses. And so you want to nurture their strengths, help them to grow. Also, too, deeper than that is when you connect with someone, they have family, they have lineage. And let me tell you something. There are limitations that are very stubborn. So what happens is you might be connecting with someone, and let's just say, for example, they have a financial stronghold in their lineage, and that person they just cap off. They can't go past a certain level. Everyone in their family just keeps hitting that wall, and you know there's a limitation there, and the limitation is stubborn. The person is working, trying to break through, and you can see that they're hardworking. They see that they're pursuing, but they keep coming up a specific limitation. It's up to you to really also go intercede and stand in for them, and you guys move through, because maybe you don't have the limitation on your life. You see what I'm saying? But they have. So what happens is you guys overcome that limitation by flowing, and vice versa. You might have limitations, certain limitations that they don't. So it's all about flowing together, like she said.
You flow together. It's very, very important. You know, marriage is a partnership. That's why I love you know, how he said it when we started. It's a partnership. It's like both of you coming together to be one. So there shouldn't be like me or her thing. You know, it can go as long as, just like we were saying, you always have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. In marriage, there might be situations whereby one of the partners maybe lose their job, and you're doing well. You should be able to always fill in, you know, always fill in for the other person, because this person might be down today, you're up here, and tomorrow you might be down. And that's the sweet thing about, like, That's the sweet thing about, actually, it just dawned on me that that's the sweet thing. Exactly, that's the sweet thing about marriage. As a matter of fact, it actually just dropped on my spirit now, because on a normal day it's just you, right? But when you people are two is better than one, as a matter of fact, and it's like, that's the fun of it, where it's two of you. You have ideas, you share together, you hit your lows, you hit your highs together, like you have a partner. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. That's why God designed it, you know. That's why that bond is important, so that you guys can scale. And then as you make good decisions as you go along the way, you make key investments, you make right choices. Yeah. It becomes not only stronger, but then you build more of a solid foundation, so that you don't have you have like legacy. You set yourself up for long-term legacy. Yeah.
Wow. Marriage is actually the best partnership out there. It is. It's the best. It's the best. I don't know why. I never even thought about it, but it's just revelation knowledge. It's just like, it literally hit me. You know, instead of you doing life alone, you have a partner that you do life together with. Like, tell me, what is the best thing out there?
Exactly.
Than marriage. It's the best thing, guys. But anyways, I hope this video was impactful. We just wanted to drop this segment inside our vlog. So let's get back to the vlogs. Hi guys. So I just got my packages. My packages just came in. I recently just ordered few things from Zara. I mean, you know, once people start getting out of winter hibernation, it's a lot of events, parties, ceremonies. We actually have a wedding coming up in 2 months time. So I got a bunch of things from Zara. I'm gonna try them on today, like later on today. But let me just unbox it and see what we have in here. I love the fact that Zara is that shop that, you know, you can get something not so expensive. I don't know, I'm the type of person that I love to invest more on my handbags and my shoes than my clothes. I mean, that's why you guys notice I love Shein a lot, especially also with the kind of business we are in, right? You're always filming and you can't be wearing the same clothes all the time. So I actually have a monthly clothing budget, you know, for business, because I mean, that's you know, it's very, very important, because you can't wear the same thing all the time. So because of that, I really don't spend a lot with my clothing. But you see my shoe and my handbag, I love to, you know, drop some coin. But look at these jeans. Oh my god, I went into Zara store, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I tried on a bunch of their jeans. Some of them they didn't have in store, but they said of course everything is always online, because I feel like they always have this thing where if it's not in one store, they can always get it from the other store to be able to ship it out. But when you go to a physical store, you're only restricted to what they have in stock. So I decided to just pick up like the ones that I really liked in the store. I got their names and then I went home, I ordered them online. This is so cute. I can't wait for you guys to, I'm going to probably have a jean. I ordered about 3 or 4 different pairs of you know, jeans from Zara. So I'm probably going to film that one separate, but one of the jeans came in. The other ones, they are still on their way. Let's see. I've been wanting this. I think this, I saw something like this on somebody. They wore it with white shorts and this, you know, kind of stripe shirt. I really loved it. So when I saw it on Zara, I was like, yes. And I got this size in large. My jean size in Zara. Zara, you guys, they know that, you know, I think Zara is a European brand or something. So their sizes is always like confusing with US size. So this one is size 40, my jean, and the US size is US size 8. Ooh, I can't wait to try the jeans on once everything comes in. I have this huge box right here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let me see. I don't want to spoil my nails, so my blazer. Oh my gosh, I saw this blazer in store. Let me put it. I saw this blazer in their store. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved the fitting and everything, but they didn't have my size. So look at this, super cute, adorable. Whoa, and I love the gold button detail on it. So they didn't have my size in store. The size they had in store was like too big for me, so I decided to get this one online. Cute, I love it. I mean, it's gonna be wedding season soon, so you can't go wrong with some blazers and things like that. I even forgot I ordered them shoe and bag for this. But yeah, look at this skirt. Beautiful. This would make a very good like skirt for this season. Okay. Oh, are you sure this is not what I'm going to wear to the wedding? Because it's like I have everything complete. Look at this. I got a pair of shoes. Love it. I love this. I love this. And I love the fact that the heel is like, it's not too much. It's just perfect pair of heels. Look at the shoe. I love it. A very nice ox blood color. And it goes so well with the skirt. And oh, I have the purse. Oh yeah, matchy matchy. We're going to be matchy matchy. Look at this. Look, you just put your hand here and you're holding your purse. It's so cute. I have a lot of organizing to do. My credenza, like my dinnerware, my utensils, my my flatware, everything, they've been in the carton in the garage for months, like months and months now. So I want to go ahead and just organize them inside my credenza. I have the credenza in the dining. It's been empty since we set that up, so I have to get all my dishes, you know, my dinnerware and all those things, and just put them in the credenza. That's what I have to get ready, put on some makeup because I have some videos to film today. But that credenza is like the first thing I have to film. It's been long overdue. It's springtime and you know what that means. Lots of activities, events, weddings, ceremonies, parties. So let's just get dressed. If you're a tall girl, you know the struggles, guys. I mean, I can't remember the last time I found a trouser that is perfect when it comes to length. Look at this. It's very, very long, guys. I have to kind of tiptoe for you guys to see the length. But then once I drop down, look at this. It's hitting the floor really, really nicely, which is how I love my, my pants to be. What do you guys think? I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Let's throw it off with some nice heels. This is look one. Love it, love it, love it. Decided to throw it off with my wine paired with the cream and kind of baby pink. Absolutely love this look. I mean, you can't go wrong with a very nice blazer suit. Absolutely in love. Okay, so this dress I really do love, guys. I love the flay details at the bottom. I love the fact that it's bodycon, so it kind of snatched the body. Love it.